Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to do a quick get ready with me video, and we are going to test out a couple of things that are new to me. So the first thing that's up is the new Pat McGrath concealer system. So I just wanted to show you guys the packaging because I don't know, maybe it's because it's a smaller package or maybe she's changing her ways, but I did not get any of the black snakes. So I have black tissue paper, and here's my order slip. And then inside I have the concealer that I purchased, and I also purchased the under eye blurring powder, and that does still have the gold sequins. These don't bother me quite as much because my kids use them for craft projects, but I really wish she would stop doing this because it's a pain in the butt to kind of get them all off of the items, particularly when they're with the lip glosses and so forth. It's just like they kind of stick a bit. And then there's black tissue paper on the bottom. So none of that black plastic material. So give me a second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna open this up. Nice. Okay, so I purchased the liquid concealer in shade L1. And for those of you who are interested, here are the ingredients. It might be a little hard to see because of the gold foil material that it's written in. So, yeah, but then packaging, you know, this, I'm not positive whether it's a really hard plastic or glass. For some reason, it's hard to tell, but it feels like glass, but it sounds like plastic. So, but then you've got, you know, the typical doe foot applicator here. And let's go ahead and put this on here. So here is a swatch of the shade that I purchased. And again, this is shade L1. So here we go. And this is 5 milliliters or 0.16 ounces. And the other thing I purchased was the powder. So this is the blurring under eye powder. And I purchased the shade Light, which is white. So this is a plastic compact. And, you know, it's kind of like a bubble compact. And then inside you've got a little mirror here at the top. And then here's the powder. It has an interesting texture. It feels very dry. It's very dry and silky. Not sure. So we'll have to see. Let's see how well that shears out too. So there is a little bit of a sheen. Can you see the sheen on my hand here? It feels kind of cool. I'm curious to see how that works. But yeah, there is a little bit of a sheen, and you know, where I did blend it out, it's pretty much translucent, but there is a little bit of whiteness to it. So obviously, you know, the darker shades are not going to necessarily have that issue. I'm happy that she made multiple shades because I feel like all these translucent powders, there's always some color kind of left over from them. And it usually benefits the more fair people, which works for me, but I just don't really think that's a great idea. So anyway, let's go ahead and test out the concealer. Right now on my face, I have on the SURRATT Perfectioniste Primer and the Guerlain L'Essentiel Foundation in 00N. And I'm gonna go ahead and test this out under my eyes. All right, and I think I'm gonna use my fingers and see how this goes. Okay, so it's a little bit more coverage than I'm used to using. Most of the time, I've been using like thinner consistencies right now. So I'm actually gonna take off some of this. Just wiping everything on a cloth here. Okay, so it's lighter than what I'm used to using. And, you know, I think this could look better. I think it's application error on my part, adding a little bit too much. I do want to see if I can get a little bit more coverage right here. So I'm just going to add like a little bit more. Okay, so texture-wise with the concealer, you know, overall so far it's sitting fine on my skin. I think it's kind of like a medium thickness to it. It's definitely not going to be, you know, as thin as something like the Sisley Stilo Lumiere, which is kind of like a highlighter under eye one. But texturally, it actually is a little bit more reminiscent of, let me put this here, of the Sisley Phytosarn Eclat. And I think it's just a little bit heavier than the Phytosarn Eclat. So the Phytosarn Eclat, when you kind of spread that out, it gets a little bit more sheer. This one feels like it's a little bit more of a fuller coverage, or at least it's a thicker material hopefully leading to a fuller coverage. So I think the shade's a little bit, well, it's a little bit lighter than what I'm used to wearing, and I think I could have gotten it to look better if I hadn't applied too much in the first place. So I think it's really just user error there, but you can see it's a little bit light on me. Okay, and which is really never happens with me with concealers. So I always have a hard time finding one that is light enough. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and use this under eye blurring powder, and I'm going to use my fingers and just kind of tap it on here. Okay, so texturally, this powder reminds me of the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. So I have the white one here, and I'm gonna put this on my hand actually next to, okay, so here I have the Pat McGrath one, so I'm gonna put this at the bottom here. But I think the feeling of the two powders is very similar. So if you are familiar with the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder, I think texturally these are very similar. And obviously in these colors, the original for this and the light for Pat McGrath, the colors are basically the same. So blurring wise, I do think it blurred a bit. I'd have to test it more to really see, because I think the lightness of it is kind of throwing me off, since it's just not what I'm used to looking at. So I'll have to see how well this sets and whether it creases and so forth. So I'll put an update down in the description box later. And if anybody wants a more dedicated review to this, let me know. Otherwise, my thoughts will just appear in another video at some point after I've worn it more. All right, so I want to go ahead and set my foundation. And since we already set the under eye with such a light powder, I think I'm going to use the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder for setting. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Sonia G Face One. Okay, and I'm just going to get a little bit here. I don't know if you can see the wafts of powder. I was just swirling it in my lid. Okay, so there is the By Terry powder, and I like this one. I do think you have to be careful using too much of that one, because you can get that white cast easily, but also it just ends up feeling a little bit dry to me at times. So, okay, let's go ahead, and I want to use the Givenchy Gardens blush today, and this is a permanent shade Spice, but in the beautiful spring packaging. So I love this package. And I actually have a lipstick from this collection that we're gonna test out today too. I previously ordered the pink one. My orange one, Sparkling Lily, has arrived. So we're gonna take a look at that as well. All right, so this is the shade Spice. It's actually a blush and highlighter duo, and I love mixing these two colors together. I'm using the SURRATT cheek brush. All right, I think that's it for blush for me. All right, so for eyes today, I thought we would go ahead and use the Chanel Eau Fille de L'Eau. This is number 358 from the, what's the collection? The LeBlanc collection. So we're gonna use this, and I had a request for the silver eyeliner. So we're gonna pair those. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm testing out these SURRATT eye brushes. So that's what I will be using again today. And I'm going to start off with let's go ahead and start off with the Smoky brush in size medium. All right, so hopefully this is close enough. I'm gonna go into this peach color here. And I'm just kind of putting this all over, going up to the brow bone. So it's kind of like a light base, just gonna help make things very spreadable. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pack on more of this peach color using the Classique brush from SURRATT. And again, this is the medium size. So I'm going back into the peach, and I'm going to just kind of put this on the inner half of my eye. All right, I'm wiping the excess off of this brush, and I'm going to go in with this silver color, the lighter silver color. Using the same brush, I'm just going in from the back. I'm going for a very light eye look today. It is super cold and windy out, and I get to go outside and help my daughter sell Girl Scout cookies today. So, not really looking for a huge makeup look today. All right, so I'm going to take the Classique Petite brush in this deepest shade, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the outer corner here. Okay, I'm going in with the Petite Smoky eye brush into the white shade, and I'm just doing a little bit here on the inner corner and bringing it into the crease. Okay, and I'm going to use the same brush, go back into the peach, and I'm just kind of going back on top of that peach shade again, kind of blending it with the gray. All right, so very light peachy eye look, and now I'm gonna go ahead and use the new Chanel eyeliner in, this is, what's it called? Argent Gris maybe, or Gris Argent. I don't remember which way it goes, but it's number 524. Okay, so here's this. I'll put this on my hand so you guys can see the color. So this is the new silver gray, and you can see there are hints of other shades in here. So I see hints of gold and a little bit of khaki green, and it's more evident when it dries down. So I think I'm really gonna like this color. I really like it swatched. I have not worn it on my eyes at all. I'm terrible with liquid eyeliner, so. Just going up a little at the end, but I'm not gonna do like a real wing. Just a little flick. Okay, let's go ahead. Oops. I know you're not supposed to really smudge that afterwards, but I think it's still, the Chanel liners seem wet enough that you can kind of get away with that a little bit. I'm gonna grab that Smoky brush that I used here and just kind of smudge that a little. The two sides are not the same. But oh well. Okay, so that's it for that. I think for under the eyes, I'm gonna go back in and I'm using the SURRATT Petite brush and I'm gonna go into this lighter silver shade and I'm going to just kind of use a tip of this brush and go underneath. All right, my eyes are a little watery, so there we go. All right, let me do mascara and I will be right back. I'm gonna move the camera back a bit. Okay, so I'm back. These are the eyes and yeah, the liner is not great, but it's a beautiful color. So you can see as the swatch is drying on my hand, you can see like over here where it's still more wet, it's a little bit more silver, and in the middle you definitely see more of that goldish color. So I really like this shade a lot. There's a burgundy and a blue one I'm considering getting as well, but definitely need to practice my eyeliner application. So let's go ahead. I did add the Chanel Inimitable Mascara and the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. And I think now we're gonna go ahead and use some finishing powder. And I think today I'm gonna go with an old favorite, the Kogan Dough Natural Lighting Powder. So this I've had forever. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the SURRATT face brush and I'm just using some of the product that is in my lid. All right. So that's it for me. I think that actually, this is a, it's a tinted powder. I think it actually ended up getting a little bit darker than what I'd like. So I'm gonna see if I can kind of just try to buff that away. I'm gonna clean this brush a little and just kind of buff some more. Right, that's a little bit better, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some of the Chantecaille Eclat Dew and just get a little bit, it's actually too much, tap some of that off. I'm gonna just add a little bit more. Okay, So that's it for powder. I think for highlighter, I am gonna go ahead and use the Chanel Rosé Light Drops. So I'm going to just apply these on my hand just a little bit, and I'm going to tap this on my cheek. All right, so there we go, just a light highlight. I really love these Rosé Light Drops. So I like to use them mixed with concealer. I like to use them as a highlight. I mix them sometimes with a foundation. I really like them. So I think they're very versatile, great product. So now on to lips. So I have the Givenchy, this is the Le Rouge Gardens edition in number 3, Sparkling Lily. And this is part of the spring line with some of that pretty packaging. So here's this one. So these are all lilies here. It's very, very pretty. Let me pull out the other one. Oh, you know what? The other one's actually down in my purse. But here is this one. And there we go. So there were 3 colors that were released. I have the pink one, which I think is Sparkling Peony. And then there's this orange one, Sparkling Lily. And then there is a third one that is red. And I was not able to find that one. But honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to get that one anyway because I really like the lip crystal from Chantecaille in Carnelian that I have. So this is Sparkling Lily. It is very sparkly. It is orange, but it's like a pinky orange. So it's not too warm. I think it's kind of like a melony, a pinky melon, but then there's pink sparkle. So it gives it a little bit more of a pink look. And you can see this tube is super glittery, and where I swiped, you can see it kind of moving. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. You can see you've got the Givenchy logo here. All right. It is definitely super sparkly. And I wasn't sure if I'd like this color, but I do. I love lip products. Yeah. This one feels a little grittier to me than the pink one does. I don't know if it's, just this particular shade or what, but I feel like I can feel some of the glitter particles in this one. So just a note there. But I really like this color, and I wanted to go with orange particularly because I'm wearing a blue turtleneck and, color wheel and all that. So overall, I like this. So I will give you guys an update on the concealer and so forth. You can see how it's wearing so far. So far, so good. It's not really settling yet. But I will leave an update in the description box. And thank you so much for joining me as I get ready today. And still have to fix my hair. My hair was still a little damp when I put in the barrettes. So now I've got, those lovely barrette kinks. So I'll have to go and fix that. But yeah, thank you so much. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them down below. If there's anything you'd like more information on, please go ahead and let me know. And I hope to see you in my next video. So have a great day. Thank you so much.